There are moments in history when a quiet signal carries a loud message, when something distant speaks, and those who are listening carefully realize it is not just information but a warning. Today we are confronted with such a moment. Scientists at NASA have detected something unusual, something unsettling, a mysterious seismic pulse coming from the moon. Now, at first glance, this may sound like just another scientific discovery, another headline in a long list of space-related updates. But I want you to think deeper, because what we are witnessing is not just about rocks shifting in a distant place. It is about a pattern, a signal, a reminder that the universe is not silent, and it is certainly not predictable. For years, we have been told that the moon is quiet, dormant, almost lifeless, a cold, inactive body circling Earth without change. Yet now we are hearing something different, a pulse, repeating, measured, intentional, almost as if the moon itself is speaking in a language we are only beginning to understand. And here is the question we must ask: are we truly paying attention? Because history shows us that warnings rarely come with loud alarms at first. They come as subtle signs, small shifts, unexplained patterns, things we are tempted to ignore. And often, it is not the absence of information that leads to crisis, but the dismissal of it. This seismic pulse, whatever its origin, demands humility from us. It reminds us that despite all our advancements, despite our satellites, our missions, our confidence, there are still forces and phenomena beyond our full understanding. Some will say, it's just natural activity, perhaps. The moon does experience quakes. But even natural events carry meaning. They tell us about structure, about change, about instability beneath the surface. They tell us that what appears solid may not be as fixed as we assume. And isn't that a reflection of something deeper? That even in the most stable systems, unseen forces can be at work. Pressure can build silently. Movement can begin unnoticed. And then, one day, it reveals itself. So the real issue is not whether this pulse is dangerous. The real issue is whether we are willing to listen carefully, think critically, and respond wisely. Because ignoring signals, whether in science, in nature, or in life, has consequences. This moment calls for awareness. It calls for discipline in how we interpret information. It calls for a refusal to be distracted by noise so we can focus on what truly matters. The moon is sending a signal. Not a message of fear, but a message of awareness. A reminder that we are part of a vast dynamic system, one that we are still learning to understand. And the question is simple: will we treat this as just another headline, or as a call to pay attention? Because those who listen carefully are the ones who are prepared when the meaning becomes clear. A quiet signal can be a serious warning. The mysterious seismic pulse detected by NASA is not just data. It may be an early warning that demands attention rather than dismissal. The detection of a mysterious seismic pulse coming from the moon by NASA forces us to reconsider what we think we know about our closest celestial neighbor, the moon. For many years, the moon has been described as quiet, inactive, and almost lifeless in terms of geological activity. It has been treated as a stable object in the sky, a constant presence that changes little and offers few surprises. Yet this new observation challenges that assumption and opens the door to deeper questions about what may be happening beneath its surface. A seismic pulse is not random noise. It is a measurable, structured vibration that suggests movement or energy release within a planetary body. When such a signal is detected on the moon, it raises important questions about its internal structure and the forces acting upon it. It reminds us that even objects we consider stable may still be undergoing slow, hidden changes that are not immediately visible from Earth. This discovery also highlights a broader truth about scientific understanding. Knowledge is always evolving. What we once believed to be final or complete is often revised when new evidence appears. The moon, long thought to be geologically quiet, is now showing signs that may indicate ongoing activity. Whether this activity is caused by internal cooling, external gravitational forces, or some other mechanism, it reminds us that there is still much we do not fully understand. At the same time, such findings encourage caution in interpretation. Not every unusual signal points to danger or catastrophe. However, it does point to the importance of careful observation and continued research. Dismissing such signals too quickly would be a mistake, because even small patterns can reveal significant truths over time. Ultimately, this seismic pulse serves as a reminder of our limited perspective. We observe the universe from a distance, often interpreting it through narrow assumptions. But the universe does not conform to our expectations. It reveals itself gradually, sometimes quietly, and often in ways that challenge our certainty. The moon is not as dormant as we assumed. The activity from the moon challenges the long-held belief that it is completely inactive, suggesting deeper, unseen processes at work. The mysterious seismic pulse detected from the moon by NASA invites us to look beyond surface-level explanations and confront a deeper reality about our universe and our understanding of it. The moon has long been considered a quiet, dormant world, its surface marked by ancient impacts and its interior assumed to be largely inactive. For decades, scientists believed that the moon had mostly completed its geological life, leaving behind a frozen record of its past rather than a dynamic present. Yet this new seismic activity challenges that assumption and forces us to reconsider what inactive truly means in a cosmic context. A seismic pulse suggests movement, energy, and transformation occurring beneath the surface. It is not merely a vibration, but a structured signal that implies internal processes are still at work. This raises important questions about the moon's internal composition and whether there are still shifting materials, residual heat, or gravitational interactions influencing its behavior. Even subtle activity, if confirmed, could reshape our understanding of how celestial bodies evolve over time. What makes this discovery significant is not only the data itself, but what it represents, the ongoing limits of human knowledge. Science advances by observation, but observation is always partial. We see fragments of reality, not the whole picture. When something like this pulse emerges, it disrupts assumptions and reminds us that certainty in science is often temporary, waiting to be refined or replaced. It is also important to approach such findings with balance. Mystery should not automatically lead to fear, nor should it be dismissed as irrelevant noise. Instead, it should be treated as an opportunity for deeper investigation. History has shown that many breakthroughs began as unexplained anomalies that did not fit existing models. In this sense, the moon is not just an object of study, but a teacher of humility. It reflects back to us the boundaries of our understanding and encourages persistence in seeking truth. Each new signal, each unexpected reading, becomes part of a larger conversation between humanity and the universe, one that is still far from complete. Ignoring subtle signs leads to bigger consequences. History shows that small, unexplained signals often come before major events. What we ignore today can become tomorrow's crisis. The recent detection of a mysterious seismic pulse from the moon by NASA compels us to rethink not only the nature of the moon itself, but also the limits of our confidence in what we assume to be settled knowledge. For generations, the moon has been portrayed as a silent, almost frozen body in space, its surface shaped by ancient collisions and its interior believed to be largely inactive. It has been treated as a relic of the past, not a participant in ongoing cosmic processes. Yet this new signal suggests that the story may not be as complete as we once believed. A seismic pulse is not something easily ignored. It implies movement, energy transfer, and internal activity that produces measurable vibrations. If such signals are genuinely originating from the moon, then they raise fundamental questions about what is happening beneath its crust. Is there residual geological activity still unfolding? Are external forces such as gravitational interactions with Earth contributing to subtle shifts within its structure? Or are we witnessing a phenomenon that does not yet fit neatly into existing scientific models? What makes this discovery particularly significant is not just the possibility of lunar activity, but the reminder it offers about human understanding itself. Science is not a fixed body of final answers. It is an ongoing process of interpretation. Each new observation has the potential to challenge established frameworks. What appears stable and resolved today may be reconsidered tomorrow in light of new evidence. The moon, in this case, becomes a symbol of that evolving uncertainty. At the same time, such findings require careful discipline in interpretation. It is easy to move from mystery to speculation, but responsible inquiry demands patience and rigor. Not every unusual signal indicates danger or dramatic change. However, every unusual signal does deserve attention because within anomalies often lie the seeds of discovery. In a broader sense, this event reminds us that the universe is not static. It is active, dynamic, and often subtle in its communication. The challenge for humanity is not only to observe, but to understand without rushing to conclusions. Human knowledge has limits. Despite scientific progress, this phenomenon reminds us that there are still mysteries in the universe beyond our full understanding. The seismic pulse detected from the moon and reported through observations by NASA introduces a deeper reflection on how fragile our assumptions about the universe can be. For a long time, the moon has been regarded as a quiet and stable companion to Earth. Its surface frozen in time, its interior assumed to be largely inactive, it has been treated almost like a monument in space, unchanging, predictable, and scientifically well understood. Yet this newly observed seismic activity disrupts that sense of certainty and invites us to reconsider what lies beneath what we think we already know. A seismic pulse is not simply a random vibration. It is a structured movement of energy, suggesting that something within or around the moon is generating measurable internal disturbance. While scientists may explore multiple explanations such as gravitational interactions, thermal contraction, or internal structural adjustments, the very presence of such a signal indicates that the moon may not be as geologically silent as once believed. Even subtle activity becomes significant when it challenges long-standing models of planetary behavior. More importantly, this discovery highlights a fundamental truth about human understanding: it is always incomplete. We build frameworks of knowledge based on observation, but those frameworks are constantly tested by new data. What we call settled science is often only the best explanation available at a given moment, not the final word. The moon's unexpected pulse is a reminder that nature does not conform to human expectations or intellectual boundaries. At the same time, such findings demand restraint in interpretation. Scientific curiosity must be guided by discipline, not speculation. The presence of an anomaly does not immediately imply catastrophe or extraordinary hidden forces. Instead, it should be treated as a signal to investigate further, to refine instruments, and to expand understanding. Many important discoveries in science began as small irregularities that initially seemed insignificant. Ultimately, this moment encourages a posture of humility. The universe is not static or fully revealed. It is active and layered with complexity. The moon, once thought to be silent, may still be speaking in ways we are only beginning to detect and interpret. Awareness and critical thinking are essential. The real message is not fear, but readiness, paying attention, thinking deeply, and responding wisely to unusual signals around us. This final reflection on the seismic pulse detected from the moon through monitoring efforts by NASA brings together a deeper understanding of what such a phenomenon represents, not only in scientific terms, but in terms of human awareness and perception. For centuries, the moon has stood in the night sky as a symbol of consistency and silence, a body assumed to be geologically inactive and largely unchanging. It has been treated as a finished world shaped by ancient history and now resting in stillness. Yet the emergence of a measurable seismic pulse challenges that long-held image and introduces a layer of complexity that cannot be ignored. A signal of this nature suggests that something within the moon is still capable of producing detectable energy shifts, whether caused by internal structural adjustments, external gravitational forces, or slow thermal changes. It indicates that the moon may still be participating in subtle dynamic processes. Even if these processes are not dramatic or dangerous, they are scientifically meaningful because they revise the boundary between what we thought was active and what we believed was dormant. More broadly, this discovery reflects the ongoing limitation of human certainty. Our understanding of celestial bodies is built from observation, interpretation, and modeling. Yet each of these depends on the tools and perspectives available at a given time. When new data appears that does not fit established expectations, it does not necessarily invalidate science, but it does remind us that science is never complete. It evolves through correction and refinement. At the same time, such findings should not be met with alarm or exaggerated conclusions. A disciplined mind recognizes the difference between mystery and danger. The presence of an unusual signal is not a prediction of catastrophe, but an invitation to investigate further with patience and precision. In the end, the moon continues to serve as a quiet teacher. It reveals that, even in apparent silence, there may be movement. Even in stillness, there may be change.